Hey everybody, Amber here if you're new here, and if not, welcome back. So this is going to be the first Eminem song we've ever done on this channel. Now this one's not a reaction, it's a breakdown. Now, no matter where you stand with Eminem, I hope if you like my reactions and my breakdowns, you stick around because I want to do something very difficult today, which is, or at least it's going to be a challenge for myself. I love this song so much. I think it's one of the most important songs in his career. It gets panned heavily though because it's on what is technically his worst album, which is a load of crap. I'm so tired of that narrative. I'm so tired of that narrative. But anyway, it's on the Revival album. It's called Walk on Water featuring Beyoncé. Now, you know I'm being honest with you when I tell you that I love this song, because I've already told you I'm not really into Beyoncé or her music at all. But what she did in the song I think was very beautiful. The chorus is very simple. She lends her voice to it. She does a very good job. And Eminem kind of breaks down his sort of coming to terms with the fact that everybody's run ends at some point, and sometimes it's out of your control. Sometimes it just begins. You don't realize you're coming back down the mountain. You never realize you even summited, but you know what I mean? You were at the top of Everest enjoying the view. The thing with this song that I think is really good is that it's written like spoken word, and then they put it to a beat is kind of how it comes across. He probably wrote it to the beat the whole time, but it's performed in a way that it really feels like something you would listen to at a poetry slam, which is one thing that makes me like it a lot. But I also think that worked against its favor to the general public. People, that's not overly marketable in today's day and age, unfortunately. But if you like my reactions and you like the way I approach things and break them down, I think that this might be able to sway your view on the song. Again, no matter where you stand on Eminem himself. But if you stuck with me this far and you're ready to do this song, let's jump right in.
Why are expectations so high? Is it the bar I set, my arms I stretch, but I can't reach? A far cry from it, or it's in my grasp, but as soon as I grab squeeze, I lose my grip like the flying trapeze. Into the dark I plummet, now the sky's blackening. I know the mark's high, butterflies rip apart my stomach, knowing that no matter what bars I come with, you're gonna heart griping. That's a hard fight getting to swallow, so I scrap these. This pressure increases like khakis. I feel the ice cracking because...
So just to break down that first verse to you, he's basically talking about the fact that he set a standard for himself, basically. The height of his career, if you want to take from Infinite and the Slim Shady LP through the Marshall Mathers LP, the Eminem Show, and then tipping into Encore, mostly right there at the Eminem Show, you could argue was the height of his career when he was at his biggest, when he could basically walk in a room and you could hear a pin drop, and basically saying, but why are expectations so high? Because now, after all that time he spent in rehab, when he came back at the end of 2008, beginning of 2009, and he put out Relapse, basically from then till now, he's never been able to please people the same. Now, he's had a couple albums blow up, like Recovery was so highly coveted. Marshall Mathers LP2 did pretty well, but like Relapse, Revival, some people argue about Music to be Murdered By, Death to Slim Shady. People give him a lot of grief for those, basically saying you're never going to be what you were. And what he's talking about there, especially this line right here.
Butterflies rip apart into the dark I plummet. Now the sky's blackening. I know the mark's high. Butterflies rip apart my stomach, knowing that no matter what bars I come with you.
I know the mark's high, butterflies rip apart my stomach, knowing no matter what bars I come with, you're gonna heart griping. That's a hard Vicodin to swallow, hard pill to swallow. So basically just saying, I went from being untouchable and thinking I could do anything and I'll always be incredible to everybody. I'll always have the fans I have. I'll never fall from these heights, to now I'm back to being nervous. Now I'm back to having my own confidence stomped, and accepting that this is where I'm at and that I'm still Eminem, but I'm not Eminem, is a hard pill to swallow, basically.
The mark's high, butterflies rip apart my stomach, knowing that no matter what bars I come with, you're gonna heart griping. That's a hard Vicodin to swallow. So I scrap these as pressure increases like khakis. I feel the ice cracking.
Even that right there, I love that bar right there. As pressure increases like khakis. So like khakis, the crease down the middle, pressure with the iron, pressure increases like khakis, but also it's getting harder to be me, and it's getting harder every single day. The pressure increases like khakis. And then he says, I feel the ice cracking, which then when we go into the chorus, I'm going to break that down in a second.
Because
I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water, but only when it freezes.
So even then, right there, she says, I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water, but only when it freezes. So basically, people viewed me like a god. Like, she uses the Jesus metaphor. I know in there we're talking about the Son of God, but if you're open-minded here, so basically saying they viewed me as a god, revered me as a god, a rap god even, because this would have been the album that followed Marshall Mathers LP, basically saying people think I walk on water, but no, I only walk on water when it freezes, when the circumstances are right. It could be when I have the perfect rollout, the songs I chose for the album are perfect, I present them to you just right, I pick the right singles, I diss the right person, the cover looks perfect, I name it the right thing. When every single I tour in all the right cities, I don't make a fool out of myself in interviews. Basically, when the stage is set perfectly, that's when I'm a god. I walk on water, but only when it freezes. You know what I mean? I think that's so beautiful, and it's like the most simple chorus in his entire career.
But only when it freezes.
it's the curse of the standard that the first of the Mathers disc set. Always in search of the verse that I haven't spit yet. Will this step just be another misstep to tarnish whatever the legacy, love, or respect?
So even there, when he says, it's a curse of the standard that the first of the Mathers disc set, always in search of the verse that I haven't spit yet. So it's a curse of the standard that I set for myself, the first of the Mathers disc set. So basically saying, look at all his albums, not his first album, Slim Shady LP, but the second album, the Marshall Mathers LP. Because then later he does Marshall Mathers LP 2. But basically he's saying, I set a standard with my second album, the Marshall Mathers LP. And ever since then, I've always been in search of that lightning in a bottle. It's the curse of the standard, the first of the Mathers disc set, always in search of the verse that I haven't spit yet. Will this step just be another misstep and tarnish whatever, my legacy, love, or respect? God.
That the first of the Mathers
But only when it freezes.
It's the curse of the standard that the first of the Mathers disc set. Always in search of the verse that I haven't spit yet. Will this step just be another misstep to tarnish whatever the legacy, love, or respect I've garnered? The rhyme has to be perfect, the delivery flawless. And it always feels like I'm hitting the mark till I go sit in the car, listen and pick it apart. Like this shit is garbage. God's given me all this, still I feel no different regardless. Kids look to me as a god, this is retarded. If only they knew it's a facade and it's exhaustive.
Basically saying, everything that you think I am is how I made myself look to you. And I had to present myself perfectly. I had to make sure that everything I ever did, every song I made, every word, I had to stay out of the spotlight so that the only time you didn't catch me in TMZ pictures, you only saw me when I let you. And I disappeared at every opportunity. I'd go 4 years between albums, come back, and you wouldn't hear a peep from me because I needed you to always revere me. Like every time I entered a room, it was like the return of a deity, basically saying, kids look to me as a god. This is retarded. If only they knew it's a facade and it's exhaustive.
Garbage. God's given me all this, still I feel no different regardless. Kids look to me as a god, this is retarded. If only they knew it's a facade and it's exhaustive. And I try not to listen to nonsense, but if you bitches are trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not God sent. Nas, Rakim, Pac, Big, James, Todd Smith, and I'm not Prince. So
if you're trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not God sent. Nas, Rakim, Big, James, Tupac, and I'm not Prince. So Nas, Rakim, Big, Biggie Smalls, James, he's talking about LL Cool J, Todd Smith, and I'm not Prince. Basically, I'm not God sent. And then he named a bunch of people that he looked to as a god. I look to James, LL Cool J, his favorite rapper, Biggie and Pac, Nas, Prince, all these people, I look to them as a god. I'm not God sent. Nas, Rakim, Big, you know what I mean? So on and so forth.
This is God's given me all this, still I feel no different regardless. Kids look to me as a god, this is retarded. If only they knew it's a facade and it's exhaustive. And I try not to listen to nonsense, but if you bitches are trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not God sent. Nas, Rakim, Pac, Big, James, Todd Smith, and I'm not Prince. So
if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to make an Eminem hater love Eminem. I swear to God.
I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water, but only when it freezes. 'Cause I'm only human, just like you, making my mistakes. So if you only knew, I don't think you should believe you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh.
So even when she adds that second half to the chorus right there, she's like, I don't think you should believe in me the way you do, because the truth is I'm terrified to let you down. And the symbolism here of all these different M&Ms, he's just every second of his life. He does it on napkins when he's at McDonald's. He does it on notebooks. He's done it on like I've literally seen him write on cups, like at the movie theater. Like he'll just, it's so cool the way he just, and he still prefer pen and paper. He doesn't type, he doesn't on his phone. Like he still wants to write. He wants to have that. And you'll see it in his music videos when he shoots any music video where he's still in the studio. He'll be holding like a yellow notepad, like a memo pad, because that's a symbol of, like unlike other rappers who are sitting there rapping off their phone or whatever. But even here, it's him basically like I'm working at a factory, like I'm working round the clock, I'm tiring myself out. I got like a full staff of me internally trying to make the perfect album for you, and it doesn't matter what I give you, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not the Marshall Mathers LP, the curse of the standard, the first of the Mathers disc set. Always in search of the verse that I haven't spit yet.
So if you only knew, I don't think you should believe in me the way that you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh.
it's true, I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest.
I'm sorry, I love that part every time. This third verse gives me chills. It's true, I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest, but I'm doing my best not to ruin your expectations, but meet them first. Like, I'm going to basically let this last verse mostly go the whole way through because it gives me chills to listen to. try to take it in as best you can, because I'm going to try not to pause as much as the first two and just let you, now that you have two verses worth of bases to work on, sort of take it away. But there's going to be, I can think of at least two moments in this verse I will pause though.
You know what you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh.
It's true, I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest. A flawed human, I guess. But I'm doing my best to not ruin your expectations and meet 'em. But first, the speed 'em verse. Now Big Sean, he's going too fast. Is he gonna shout or curse out his mom? There was a time I had the world by the balls eating out my palm. Every album song I was spazzing the fuck out on, and now I'm getting clowned and frowned on. But the only one who's looking down on me that matters now's Deshaun. And my
So what he's saying right there, he said, at first the speed 'em verse, now Big Sean. So basically that was kind of the tipping point where people were like, he's rapping too fast, too complex. It's just bars. There's no substance. And the speed 'em verse, if you're unfamiliar, is called Speed 'em, parenthesis, Worldwide Choppers 2. It's a song by Tech 9 featuring Chris Calico and Eminem on the Special Effects album from Tech 9. Incredible. And Chris Calico again, which I've told you on this channel a couple times. But basically he's saying, the speed 'em verse, now Big Sean, is he going too fast? Is he gonna shout or curse out his mom? Basically saying, you know, it's just bars, it's just filler, it's too fast. Like, go back to yelling at your mom, make a song about killing Kim, make a song about your daughter, make a song about drugs, do all the stuff you used to do, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, which by the way is fucked up. I'm gonna say that outright. If your wish is, I only like you when your life's falling apart, I only like you when you're on drugs, I only like you when you're drunk, I like you when you're gaining weight, losing weight, falling asleep, I like the you that fell in the bathroom and Whitney and Elena had to witness it, that's fucked up. You need Slim Shady back that bad? That's beyond disgusting. But
palm, I curse out his and meet 'em. But
and even when he said there was a time I had the world by the balls eating out my palm,
a beautiful mess.
'Cause I'm
It's true, I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest. A flawed human, I guess. But I'm doing my best to not ruin your expectations and meet 'em. But first, the speed 'em verse. Now Big Sean, he's going too fast. Is he gonna shout or curse out his mom? There was a time I had the world by the balls eating out my palm. Every album song I was spazzing the fuck out on, and now I'm getting clowned and frowned on. But the only one who's looking down on me that matters now's Deshaun. Am I lucky to be around this long?
just for clarity, Deshaun, you might know him as Proof, a member of D12 and Eminem's best friend. Back on Encore, they did a song called Like Toy Soldiers, where he talked about how I don't want to go too into detail and explain a whole nother song, but basically Eminem said, this beef, this everything going on right now in rap surrounding him and 50 and Murder Inc. and all these different things, I can't let somebody die and it be because of me, which is what he says at the end of the second verse. It's not a plea that I'm copping. And he says, I'm not going to let someone else's coffin rest on my conscience. And Proof played the friend that got shot in the music video. And then a few months later, I think it was, he actually got shot and was killed in a nightclub. And it was the most disgusting, just awful, horrific foreshadowing ever. And it's heartbreaking that it played out that way. But basically he's saying, after everything he just told you in the first verse, in the second verse, he's basically saying, but the only one who's looking down on me like, you know, like, you're nothing, you're worthless, your music sucks, get out of the game, you're old, you're washed up. But the double play of the only one who's looking down on me now is Deshaun. But at the same time, am I lucky to be around this long? I love that.
I was spazzing the fuck out on, and now I'm getting clowned and frowned on. But the only one who's looking down on me that matters now's Deshaun. Am I lucky to be around this long? Begs the question though, especially after the methadone is yesterday fades and the Dresden home is burnt to the ground and all that's left of my house is lawn. The crowds are gone and it's time to wash out the blonde. Sales decline, the curtains drawn, they're closing the set. I'm still poking my head from out behind. And everyone who has doubt, remind. Now take your best rhyme, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times. Now let them tell you the world no longer cares or gives a fuck about your rhymes.
Now take your best rhymes, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times, and let them tell you the world no longer cares or gives a fuck about your rhymes. Like, nobody has been screwed over by fake hate more than Eminem.
Now take your best rhyme, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times. Now let them tell you the world no longer cares or gives a fuck about your rhymes. And as I grow out of sight, out of mind, I might go out of mind. Cause how do I ever let this mic go without a fight when I made a fucking tightrope out of twine? But when I do,
when I took something from nothing and made a whole career out of going to the shelter, rapping at every chance I got, working my, warehouse factory job, barely being able to buy diapers for my daughter, let alone food for the table. How do I ever let this mic go without a fight when I made a tightrope out of twine? Just
mind, I might go out of mind. Cause how do I ever let this mic go without a fight when I made a fucking tightrope out of twine? But when I do fall from these heights, though I'll be fine. I won't pout or cry or spiral down or whine, but I'll decide if it's my final bow this time around. Cause
even just then, but it doesn't matter whether I fall or don't. It's inevitable. But just know that when I do leave, I'll decide my last album. I'll decide my last song. I'll decide my last verse. You aren't going to decide that for me. I don't care if I can't sell a diamond record. I don't care if I sell one more CD. I will leave when I decide because this is my legacy. And then I'm going to let this play out because the ending is really funny.
If it's my heights, though I'll be fine. I won't pout or cry or spiral down or whine, but I'll decide if it's my final bow this time around. Cause
I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water.
Also, I'm sorry, symbolizing times that he tried to walk on water and ended up drowning in the process. Now now this is him going at it again. So presumably this lake freezes over every time the stage is set right. But every time he drowns trying to chase after it, it's another Eminem in the lake.
But only when it freezes, 'cause I'm only human, just like you. I've been making my mistakes, so if you only knew, I don't think you should believe in me the way that you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh, if I
And if you didn't catch it right there, the whole song he's been writing gibberish, trying to just, blow up. And then right there at the end, he started writing Stan, which was a colossal hit for him. So that's a real cool little Easter egg. But it plays into the joke at the end, so keep that in mind.
that you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh, if I walked on water, I would drown.
Cause I'm just a man, but as long as I got a mic, I'm godlike. So me and you are not alike. Bitch, I wrote Stan.
Man, if you still don't like Eminem, that's fine. If you still don't like that song, that's fine. But I firmly believe that what I just did just now for you is the best shot that I'm going to be able to get at somebody maybe starting to turn their head that direction and maybe starting to look at his other music in a different light. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.